I'm not sure how much I can necessarily talk about.
Can't do like final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can say exactly what I think of it, but I can definitely answer a lot of questions that people might have about it. People are curious about this game.
Yeah. Like, obviously, the big deal is that they took a year off after Syndicate finally took some rest from the franchise, which has been yearly since Assassin's Creed 2, was it? When they became yearly? Well, they did Brotherhood and then Revelations 3. Ugh.
Yeah.
3 was, and I love the series up until 3. I think that's where it started to falter. But then I also like Black Flag, but not for Assassin's Creed reasons. But my main question is, again, Alessandro's review will be up sometime soonish in the next couple days. But I want to talk to you about someone who has beaten the game, played all of it, or at least played like 20 hours or something. I
didn't finish the game. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, like we had to go somewhere else to play it. However, I did. I think I probably finished 2/3 of it, maybe a little bit more. Explored most of the world, which is by far the coolest thing about this game. Is the setting. I mean,
Northern Africa.
Yeah, and that's always been a staple of Assassin's Creed is the setting. It's always kind of taken the forefront of the experience. However, just seeing Egypt, I think, is so cool.
Yeah.
You can, before we go more into that, you can go outside of Egypt, right? Isn't it other parts of Northern Africa as well? Because it's like the Cleopatra, Julius Caesar era, right? You can go outside of the bounds of Egypt, correct?
I believe so. I mean, the map
Egypt?
is huge.
Okay.
The map is very big. Like, I think Alessandro, who finished it, even said that the story didn't take him everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you can go outside of Egypt, but I'm not entirely certain.
Okay. But yeah, the map itself, one thing obviously you could see if you're watching this live, you could see like a Skyrim-esque compass up there, rather than the old mini-map on all the other Assassin's Creeds, which just became littered with kind of menial tasks left and right and question marks and exclamation points and collectibles and side quests that just ended up being fetch quests. But how does that feel in this game as far as exploring? Does it feel like, is it living up to what Ubisoft has been saying, that they're trying to focus more on exploration or encouraging you to explore rather than just going to the next waypoint?
Yeah, I would say so. I particularly really like that compass up there. I think it does do a good job of kind of keeping your eyes focused on what's around you rather than what's in the corner.
Yeah.
And seeing the question marks up there is definitely enticing. If you get near something, you're like, I wonder what this is. I'll go check it out. However, it's not, for some reason, it's not as enticing to explore as it was in Skyrim for me, at least. Like, it wasn't like, I wonder what this is. I'm going to go check this out. Kind of when I got on a path or when I had an objective, I looked to see where it was and just head it in that direction. I wasn't always like, I'm deviating from the path, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and that's kind of, they're also adding to the combat in this game. Usually it's like attack, counter, kind of contextual. This game, they went more like actually active. You could dodge, and there's a light attack, and there's a, I mean, I played a little bit of it. It's a block, light attack, power, heavy attack, shield breaker, whatever you want to say. How does that all feel within, like I know you played it in review events before, or sorry, preview events, but how does it feel overall, like as you're maybe upgrading Bayek, your character and everything? Does it actually feel like the combat is a more, like a bigger focus of the game this time around? Or does it still feel kind of like an afterthought?
It feels like a bigger focus of the game, and it has moments where it is a lot of fun. Like what I've been saying is, in controlled environments, it's really cool. Like if you're in a flat area, you're not overwhelmed. Being able to, like, focus more on making contact with an enemy, kind of pulling the trigger when you want to attack, is a lot more involved and interesting. However, the camera is one example. Like if you're in a tight quarters and you're fighting someone, it is...
Oh, damn.
It can be tough. Or if you're being attacked by a lot of people and you're messing with the control stick, your lock-on will just fly all over the screen.
Right.
And Alessandro was saying a lot of times he would just turn off his lock-on, and that would solve a lot of the issues, which you can do. However, I think when you turn off the lock-on, it feels floaty. So I don't particularly like doing that. But yeah, in close quarters, it is very difficult to figure out what's going on.
Sorry, it's the most capable camel I've ever seen.
I know, right?
It is very...
It is just trundling over rocks.
On the same wavelength. I like that you're riding a camel.
Yeah, you start out with a camel.
That's like the scene in The Mummy when Brendan Fraser and
totally
Rachel
like
Weisz are all sprinting across the desert, and they win because the camels have better stamina.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah. You don't remember that? I'm a Brendan Fraser. Have you seen Bedazzled?
I try to forget.
He's in that.
I try to forget.
Someone tweeted, was it Ben Pack from Giant Bomb? He just randomly tweeted Brendan Fraser's Battlegrounds the other day. That was it.
I think I did see that.
Yeah, I liked it. What about Bayek? Is he a likable character from what you've played?
Yeah, far more
Maybe
likable.
likable's the wrong. Well, no, likables were because what's his name sucked from Unity.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I didn't play Syndicate enough. The Evie Fry and Jacob Fry, is that correct?
Camel's butt is so bloody.
Evie and Jacob. I could be wrong. I think it's Evie and Jacob
Okay.
Fry, but I didn't play Syndicate. But I like Bayek so far. He's
Yeah.
a guy. He's a Magi.
He's a Magi. He is very serious, and at first he comes across as serious. And when I started playing, I was like, great, we're gonna have another very serious, kind of brooding Assassin's Creed
Connor
character.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Ratatouille.
which he kind of is to an extent, but there are definitely moments of lightheartedness. Like, there's a couple missions where they're like children or whatever, and he'll like, I don't know, kind of play around with the children. It's kind of nice seeing a little more depth to this character as opposed to Connor, who is just kind of brooding.
Just a cold murderer who never feels anything.
Yeah. I mean, he's still a cold murderer.
So there's people asking on Twitter. So Tom Merritt earlier today responded to me saying, what new features is Assassin's Creed offering for fans who have become labor the series that may draw them back in? So people that, like, it's not their first Assassin's Creed, like myself. Of any of the features that you mentioned, kind of, or the additions or the revamps, what are there any that are going to bring in veteran players who might have kind of gotten tired after Syndicate? Like, was the 2-year break helpful?
I think the 2-year break was helpful. I think the biggest thing for me, at least, is how open the world is. And how it focuses more on exploration rather than a sort of hub area where you're completing isolated missions. Instead, you go to an entirely new area just because, you traveled over there, you find some missions just at your leisure, you do them. Maybe you get halfway through a mission, you don't like it, you go to a different one. So I think that adds a lot more player choice than we've seen in previous games. And I think that could draw people back in. I think the combat is also fun in those. I mean, it can be frustrating, but I think early on, I think fans will enjoy the new style of combat.
Is there a lot of stealth too? Like, I mean, still, like, as an assassin, can you still?
Yeah, there is stealth. I don't think it's great. To be fair, I never thought the stealth in Assassin's Creed games were that great.
No.
And I don't think this one is any better. I know Alessandro and Matt were kind of saying it may not even be quite as good.
Damn.
But I don't want to speak too much to what they thought of it. But, I mean, to me, it seemed like, you just Assassin's Creed combat, you sneak behind enemies and you stab them. But I think the biggest thing that might have people interested is the loot system. I know a lot of people play RPGs and games like this for loot. And now, as you play, you'll be getting different loot. You'll be leveling up Bayek. And it feels more like a character progression in terms of abilities and level rather than, you just get a new, you get a new piece of tech or something like that. It's a little bit more fleshed out, I'd say, in terms of that.
Is the loot system, like, well designed? Like, I mean, because Shadow of War had a loot system, obviously that drew some controversy, but it felt tacked on in Shadow of War. Does it feel actually essential to the experience here to Bayek?
I don't think it feels tacked on, but it's not nearly as in depth as something like Destiny or Diablo, because most of the weapons feel the same. It's not like Destiny where you get an exotic gun that feels completely different from another exotic gun.
Right.
I mean, you get a legendary axe, and it'll feel like all the other axes, except there is a perk to it.
Like poison damage or something?
Yeah, poison damage, or you'll regain health on every hit or something like that.
Okay.
But still, just seeing like a gold weapon drop, you're like, ooh, I wonder what this is, and you click on it. Like it is entertaining to see what you get as you play.
Yeah, it looks like your spear here is glowing. This is probably one of the perks you're
Also,
talking
like that, and what's the point of fighting hippos? Is it self-defense?
Because they attacked people and killed them.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
You can get resources from them, right?
Yeah,
Blubber?
you can.
I think
So
I like
it is very Ubisoft in the sense where it's like, oh, you want to upgrade your gear? Go hunt.
Yeah.
So you go
about.
hunt.
Get some hippo skin.
Yeah, get some hippo skin because nothing's stronger than hippo skin on
Right.
your chest.
Don't I know?
Right.
Is there? Do they push Uplay stuff a lot, or is it just like any other Ubisoft game? It's just there on the menus.
It seems like it's just there in the menus. I think while I was playing, I got like 1 or 2 Uplay achievements. Actually, no, I don't think I did in Assassin's Creed. I'm thinking maybe South Park did.
South Park, it was.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot
It was
that was Ubisoft.
pretty heavy-handed in South Park.
Okay,
Like,
then-
off the bat, it starts off and it's like, here's.
I'm gonna play Star Trek Online or Star Trek Command.
Sure, but
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's marketing Ubisoft games within the game.
Yeah, but like no, you start off in South Park and it's like log into Ubiplay if you want to wear this Assassin's Creed outfit and whatever it was. I don't know. And then you're getting a lot of prompts in South Park.
Yeah.
But here it's not as often.
Doesn't seem as bad. To be honest, I don't think I saw any notifications for Uplay or anything like that. You can go to the in-game store, and I think you can purchase points in order to purchase different outfits and weapons.
Sure.
But when I was in there, I already had like, or I think when we were playing on, I already had like 750 or something like that, and I don't know how I got them, but I did. So it seems like there are ways to get those points other ways than paying, but still you can pay to get that cool stuff if you want.
You're talking a little bit about side quest stuff, because that's something I want to say that pulled me away from Assassin's Creed games, was getting that fatigue of like, I think I've done this about 50 times, and some of the the outside side quest activities they felt a little cut and pasty. Can you vouch for that here, or is it less of it? Is it still present? Would you say
it's still present, but I would say less of it.
Yeah,
they do a good job of giving context to side missions.
Okay, that's cool
for the most part. Like, you hit a point where you basically get gated to move on, and you have to do a lot of them. And when I did that, I was like, all right, I don't really care what this mission is about. I just want to get it done so I can get to the next area or get to the next like story beat.
Sure.
But like there are definitely missions that are far more interesting than what I played in the older Assassin's Creed games in terms of side quests. However, when you do talk to an NPC, when you get something like this, it's really hard to pay attention to what's going on, just because it's like, I don't know, the character's eyes are like dead and lifeless, and they're not, I don't know, just it's not exactly pretty to look at when you're in these little conversations.
Wasn't there also something they were like pushing, was like all the NPCs have like how do you say it? Like set like time of day like waypoints, schedules and stuff. Was that noticeable, or did you stalk someone for like 2 hours?
Not really.
Yeah.
When you get your bird,
Rob, you're sweating right now. What's going on?
Who's sweating?
Talking about stalking people and you're getting excited. I'm kidding.
Oh,
bad joke.
No, that's Sundays.
So here's the bird right now, but the bird, you can look at enemies and it'll say what they're doing. Actually, I may not have. Talking. So you can kind of see like, all right, he's, I don't know, eating pooping? Or something like that, pooping, and then you can like,
gotcha.
Now's the time to kill him because he's pooping.
Totally.
Totally.
But I mean, you can completely ignore those and you won't notice a difference. Like it was more the thing where I'd fly in and I'm like, he's distracted. I guess now's the time to kill him, as opposed to some other time. But I'd still kill him anyway because it was the objective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there no multiplayer this time around?
No multiplayer.
Oh.
Cool.
There's like a connectedness to it. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but it's not like you're actually facing off against other players.
Right.
Cool. So this is out tomorrow, October 27th, alongside Super Mario Odyssey.
Friday, right?
Friday.
Today's Wednesday. Sorry, October 27th, Friday, alongside Super Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein 2: New Colossus.